Every time right before a trial, my stomach is not right, I can't really eat, I'm just incredibly nervous. It's always a problem with lawyers is that we can never feel prepared enough.
I was up all night last night. I had about 4 hours of sleep. But I feel good. I'm running on adrenaline and I love that rush.
Be seated, please, and come to order. Weissman versus Amar. Mr. Brockwell is the plaintiff ready?
Yes, we are, sir. May it please the court.
You may proceed.
Judge, we're here today for the case of a tattoo gone horribly wrong. The largest tattoo starts to fade out, and the agreement was that he would touch up the flowers in the vine, nothing else. This is what she's ended up with. And so, Judge, we feel that once you hear all the testimony, that you're going to find that this is a clear case of negligence.
Ms. Hilliard?
The plaintiff claims that this is a straightforward negligence cause of action. And the only negligence that was committed was by the plaintiff to herself. The crux of our defense today is that the plaintiff went in one time to get a tattoo. She chose to go back for the second tattoo. She chose for more color. Your Honor, I don't believe that the plaintiff has a negligence case. However, they do have a case, Your Honor, of buyer's remorse. Thank you.
It's very typical in the divorce process for the parties to want to get even with each other.
No, I'm taking my stuff out. I'm not worried about how the house looks.
I was talking to the mediator and shit.
letting you
I wasn't talking to you.
Okay, just letting
So
you
mind
know.
your own business. I was talking to him.
These are people who walk down the aisle who said to death do us part, they feel hurt. And so a lot of times the gloves come off.
As you know, we're here for mediation today. As the mediator, I'm totally impartial. Each one of your attorneys are going to tell me the issues from your perspective. And once we get all that information, sometimes it's customary in a mediation that we split up in separate offices and talk separately with you and your attorneys. I believe, Mrs. Taylor, you filed the initial petition for divorce.
Correct.
So I'm going to let your attorney and you talk first. Ms. Gasparo?
We are talking strictly about an equitable distribution of assets and liabilities. We have a marital home that we believe is valued at about $280,000. There's a number of jewelry that was purchased during the marriage, and the husband actually purchased a Rolex that's probably valued at between $25,000 and $30,000.
Well, we have a position that stands a little dissimilar. We agree that this is a straight equitable distribution case, but we think that some of the items purchased during the marriage by Mr. Taylor would be subject to an unequal distribution. We primarily take issue with the jewelry being the Rolex. It was purchased for about $3,000 and it was from a non-marital fund.
Oh, well, he can absolutely have the paint off of the walls that I purchased and the hardwood floors that I put into the house, and you're welcome to it.
Well, we do believe there are other items that were purchased as well.
Okay.
All right, any questions before we split up?
No, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Donnie and Natalie had not been separated for a very long period of time. And my experience is that the shorter the separation, the harder the case is to settle.
Mr. Brockwell, you may call your first witness.
Plaintiff calls Meredith Weissman.
Ms. Weissman, raise your right hand.
I think my client's come across very well. I think she'll be likable, and a lot of times it's very important. Is this the tattoo that you wanted?
Yes.
This is the tattoo you chose?
Oh, it was what I chose, yes.
Did you ever want a background behind the tattoo?
No.
Okay. Did he ever say to you, I'm going to go add this background to your tattoo?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Very well, I'll restate the question. Was there ever any discussion beyond filling in the flower?
No.
Did anyone in Mr. Amar's business verbally tell you or instruct you on aftercare instruction?
No.
Okay. Well, how do you feel about the tattoo now?
I hate it.
I have nothing further at this time.
Ms. Hilliard, would you like to cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor, may it please the court?
You may proceed.
I hope this judge is very patient with us because the cross-examination of Meredith is going to be a difficult one. I don't want him to be compassionate towards her, but she's a very sweet girl, and we could run into that. You're an adult, aren't you?
Yes.
And you graduated high school.
Yes.
Your testimony was today that you're suing because the tattoo was not pretty, is that right?
Not entirely.
So you would agree that you failed to follow any aftercare instructions?
Objection. She's testified she never received the instructions.
Then the answer would be yes, Your Honor.
She's entitled to a thorough and sifting cross. I'll allow her to proceed, Mr. Brockwell. Thank you.
So you would agree that you did not follow any aftercare instructions?
I guess no.
You contacted the tattoo artist a day after you received the second tattoo, isn't that correct?
Yes. He said I shouldn't tell you this, but you can pour peroxide on it.
I think it's really funny. This woman used peroxide on her tattoo. Gosh, I wonder what peroxide does to things of color. You color your hair just like I do, right? Mm-hmm. And we know
Objection, relevance.
Your Honor, I'll get there.
It's kind of interesting. Let's proceed.
We know there's peroxide in those chemicals that make our hair so blonde, right? And really what that's doing is it's removing pigment from the strands of hair, isn't that right?
Yes.
So you know that if you were to put hydrogen peroxide on a tattoo, the first day that you got it, it would probably remove the pigment, isn't that correct?
Yes.
With regard to the green, there was a misunderstanding, and you said what?
I asked him what he was doing.
And he said, I want to put on some blue. How about blue?
Yes.
And you didn't tell him to stop at any point prior to the completion of this tattoo, did you?
No.
No one was holding you down, were they?
No.
Thank you.
Anything else of this witness?
Nothing further.
Fortunately for us, we got a great deal of admissions from Meredith. I think that we can proceed just solely on the basis that the plaintiff can't prove their case.
Ms. Hilliard, you may call your first witness.
Your Honor, at this time, I would like to call my client, Mr. Robert Amar.
Mr. Amar, come on up, please.
Thank you. Hi, Mr. Amar. Have you ever seen her before?
Unfortunately, no.
Could you please identify for me what I'm handing you?
2 business cards for 2 different artists from my business.
What is on the back of those cards?
Standard tattoo aftercare.
And what was your relationship with the tattoo artist?
The funny thing about tattoo business, they're not really employees, they're artists.
Would you say that he was an independent contractor?
I guess you can call them that, yes.
I have nothing further.
All right, counsel, you may cross.
Mr. Amar, are you a tattoo artist yourself?
I've done tattoo, but I'm not a tattoo artist now.
Let me first direct your attention to the top line below the name of your tattoo parlor. What does that say?
Adult consent form.
Do you think that this document releases you or one of your artists from their own negligence?
I'm not able to answer that.
Would you agree with me, Mr. Amar, that if one of your artists does a background on a tattoo, which is what happened in this case, that she didn't ask for, that that's not what you want to happen?
Yeah, I would say that. That's true.
That's not what a tattoo artist is supposed to do. He's not supposed to add background when the client didn't ask for it. Would you agree?
He's badgering my witness because he's frustrated. He wants some kind of admission that he's just not going to get. My client is neither a tattoo artist nor an expert.
I don't need an objection every 5 minutes, so this objection is overruled. Mr. Brockwell, let's proceed, but let's get through this case before the sun goes down, please.
This is all marital property.
And the things with the dots are things that you would like to have?
Correct.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of like I get one room, you get the other room kind of deal.
Well, I'm going to go down and talk to him, and we're going to go from there.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, guys.
Fred.
I think the best way to start is just to tell you what she wants.
Sure.
And we'll go from there.
Okay.
On the home, she wants to sell the home and equally split any proceeds.
I'm apprehensive to that. I have to think about that if you don't mind.
Donnie, this is a list of everything that's in the house that was purchased during the marriage.
Is that laundry detergent?
Yeah, how petty is that?
Once a case starts with liquid detergent, it's going downhill fast.
That's a no. That's a no. All these things here, doesn't have checks beside. These are what I already brought to the marriage.
He wants it all. And so does his wife, Natalie. And so I've got to get them to meet in the middle somehow.
All she's done is she's trying to rate me for everything that's worth, any decent value.
I know you feel hosed. I know you do.
Yeah.
She feels hosed too.
I mean,
I just
I would
tell you
feel-
that
I
I'm the
would-
one who goes to these cases all the time, okay? I'm on your side, but I'm also trying to make you very realistic with what the court can do, because you feel like I paid for it, therefore it should be mine. I'll give her some of the smaller things. The court will not see it your way. You're not going to get all of it. It's just not going to happen. Not, period, done. And Donnie just didn't get that.
Hi, Mr. Nelson, how are you?
Fantastic, how about you?
I'm good, thank you.
You look good.
I'm sorry?
You look good.
This guy's hitting on me on the stand.
What's the cost of your sanity?
Obviously, you're a lawyer and you probably make a lot more money than I do.
Donnie, look, I'm at the point where I feel like you're digging on me personally,
No,
and I'm
no,
trying
no.
to help you. Get off my life. Let's get back to here.